Hey everyone, welcome to Desert Sun Crypto. I'm your host, the one and only the Desert Sun. Listen, before we get into anything, I wanted to just share one of my pages, Desert Sun Crypto. You can find it on TikTok. I've been posting like crazy, some pretty funny stuff in the space. I've been using it just as a bridge over to the YouTube channel. But I appreciate it if you want to check out some of the videos. They're very entertaining. If I don't say so myself. So let's get into it. This episode, we're going to be talking about CBDC, central bank digital currencies. Today, there's this article, CoinDesk. Ukraine's president signs law allowing central bank to issue a CBDC. Now, this is big news today. For a while, though, we've been hearing about Ukraine and their adoption of or potential adoption of CBDC, particularly using XLM, the Stellar blockchain network. But what happened was on the 30th of June, they passed a bill in the National Parliament of Ukraine, and that this bill that just passed that Zelensky signed, it regulates how the payment of services, especially the digital ones, can provide or can be provided in Ukraine. Ukraine was popping up a lot last year. It's really interesting how now they've circling around and they're becoming one of the first countries to adopt and open the door for a lot of entrepreneurs and businesses that want to operate using cryptocurrency. Now, 2 years ago, central bank digital currencies were starting to pop up a lot. Here's Christine Lagarde, the head of the uh, Central Bank of Europe, and she just makes mention of it in a interview with CNBC.
Future, uh, we have to look at what lots of data collectors and movers are going to do and whether they're going to move into the banking space forcefully, in which case they will have to be regulated. They will have to be held accountable so that they can be fully trusted.
Madam Lagarde, I know you have a tight schedule. Thank you for joining us here on
Thank you.
Facebook Live.
Christine Lagarde, she pops up a lot, not only with uh, the EU, but also with the World Economic Forum, which she repeatedly takes part in a lot of the digital currency forums, and repeatedly has since 2019 had a number of interviews talking about not if but uh, or when that it is on the horizon. I love showing this clip. This is Jamie Dimon, CEO of JP Morgan. Here he is about 4 years ago spouting off about his disdain for Bitcoin and questionable about cryptocurrency.
What I have an issue with is a non-fiat cryptocurrency, dollar, so crypto, sterling, euro, yen, they're all fine. I don't personally understand the value of something that has no actual value. You all can do whatever you want, and I don't care. Okay?
Now it's funny. He was. This is what he's famous for, and everyone wants to circle around with regard to the space. Just early this month, this was announced by J.P. Morgan. J.P. Morgan creates digital coin for payments, their own CBDC. It's been really amazing because I've brought up CBDC, others have brought up CBDC, and it's as though it's make believe. But what's happening behind the scenes is the testing and the creation of CBDCs, primarily as they lay out here. Check this out. JPM Coin seeks to address the complex challenges of cross border payments and help simplify its clients' money needs through the next generation corporate treasury services. Keep that in mind. CBDC, cross border payments. Sounds familiar. But again, we bring up this issue or this topic of CBDC, and it's like it's make believe. And it's because it's just not being talked about a lot. I've said this before, I'll say it again. some of the most interesting, pivotal things that are happening right now are happening in the economy, and they're all circling around this crypto space. So, congratulations for being here. I like showing this clip as well. This is Jerome Powell. This is him before Congress, the end of 2019. And they're talking about the competition and the race to be the first globally adopted cryptocurrency. Here you go.
Chinese. The reason that there was one of the reasons there was so much concern about the Libra project is they would immediately have scale if they just rolled out the product. Another entity in a position to do that is the Chinese government to roll out at scale using their already established payment by cell phone systems. They would immediately have a scale comparable to Facebook if they rolled that out. And so how would you characterize our ability to respond to this potentially competitive threat?
So we're working hard on it. We have a lot of projects going, a lot of efforts going on that right now. We haven't had the problem that many of you mentioned. Sweden. A lot of the Northern European economies have moved away from cash to a remarkable degree, and that really has not happened in the U.S. economy, even though it seems like it must have happened with our kids not using cash very much.
Up until the pandemic, I think it was a few months into the pandemic where you'd go some places and they would say, "Sorry, no change." There was an ice cream place right down the street from me, and they refused to take a card. And over the pandemic, they switched, and it's becoming realistically and very sadly a means of survival for businesses. So a lot of the ones that were cash only, um, they're gone. You're not seeing a lot of them anymore. But this is a few weeks ago. This is Powell, and he's being questioned on the CBDC efforts and where it's at, and what his thoughts are on the central bank digital currency.
I sensed what I wasn't sure, but thought might be a change in your tone about the virtues of a central bank digital currency being issued by the Fed. One of the things you said yesterday is that one of the stronger arguments in favor of a CBDC is that, quote, you wouldn't need stable coins, you wouldn't need cryptocurrencies if you had a digital U.S. currency. Of course, isn't the reverse also true? If you have stable coins, cryptocurrencies in use, then maybe there's no need for a central bank digital currency. I guess my 2 points. One is it's my view that the development of a central bank digital currency by the Fed would require congressional authorization. I'm wondering if you share that view. And secondly, it is still not clear to me what problem a central bank digital currency would solve. And I wonder if you think there are problems that only a central bank digital currency can solve.
So first, I'm legitimately undecided on whether the benefits outweigh the costs or vice versa or on a CBDC. Yesterday, I was answering a direct question about a particular argument. I said, in favor, that would be one of the stronger arguments.
Okay.
I would agree that the more direct route would be to appropriately regulate stablecoins, which we don't do right now, and that's going to be a very important thing that we do.
The two things: one, they just showed the 60 cent for XRP, which is down to 75 cents. The other thing is he's right. There is no regulation. They want regulation. I believe regulation is going to be happening with this SEC XRP case. And my opinion, just with Powell, because he's already done an about face, he's seen what the trend is happening. I don't think he's going to chime in, and I don't think you're going to hear that he's all uh, in this space until after the SEC XRP lawsuit. And he's going to use it as ballast, as a reason to say, well, it's regulated now, so let's go ahead and start moving in this direction. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, I think this is already what's happening. I want to show you a few things to lay out. Going to the World Economic Forum and their list of organizations, lo and behold, what's this? One of their partners is Ripple. You've got to be kidding me. Of course, I knew wasn't a surprise. But these are one of the things, when you do the research and you put a lot of time into this, and by no means am I the only one finding this stuff. I've got a network of people who I follow and some friends that I share some information with, and I look at this stuff on the daily. But this is something that has been, it shouldn't be news to anybody. But if it is to you, yes. If you go to the web, the We Forum, the World Economic Forum.org, go to organizations and look up the partners that they have. And as a matter of fact, I believe when it comes down to their cryptocurrency board, Brad Garlinghouse sits on it. So, oh, here it is, Chris Larson. uh, One of the names, along with Brad, in the lawsuit. But here's the World Economic Forum still attaching its name to someone who, or a business that's going through this lawsuit with the SEC. I don't know. But anyhow, if you go to the Ripple website, it basically explains what Ripple is, and the oversight, some insights. Here's one thing in particular they're talking about is ISO 20022, shaping the future of cross-border payments. Where do we see this before? Well, we saw this earlier on the JP Morgan page. Let me pull it up. Where did I put it? Here, right here. Yeah. JPM coin seeks to address the complex challenges of cross-border payments. And here we are, ISO 222. Now, what is it? I don't know. I've been circling around this. Of course, I know. This is basically explaining, and it lays out how the whole network for cross-border payments is going to, uh, essentially change the way in which the financial future looks like, particularly, um, what it's going to look like with a lot of the financial institutions, not on your day-to-day person-to-person transactions, but some of your big transactions that are happening well above the scope of where you and I out there are probably looking at. But one of the things, and I should probably, and I'm thinking about doing, what I'm thinking about doing is going into exploring what exactly is ISO 222. Again, if you want to do it on your own, go ahead and look at it. But I want to give you and show you this image. And this is Darren B. Moore Seymour on Twitter. And it shows the whole network on how, money will be flowing. It does include the SWIFT system. Um, some of the ones that are tied in with this are is the XLM with Stellar, XRP, IOTA, uh, Zinfin, which is XDC. We got Auguron, ALGO. Uh, you know, when I first decided where I was going to put my money, I looked at this and I said, if this is what ISO 20022 or 20,022 is, that's where I need to look. Now, initially, it looks like a whole web and a whole mess. Again, do the research. This was updated. Look, this is 7/24, 2020. But basically, this is just breaking down the whole fabric of the financial system, what it looks like behind the scenes. And so, um, Darren's basically pointing out here that XRP is well positioned for wholesale CBDC, aka interbanking. So, to just say that Ripple is out of the picture and not a big player, it's a farce. It's going to be used, and not financial advice, but that's what I'm banking on. No pun intended. That's also where I've got my bags packed, as well as some of these other ones: XLM, XDC, Auguron, IOTA, I own, and you know that's just a few a piece of information I wanted to share. Again, a lot of this is some research that I've done, also some that I've had shared with me. I am going to be releasing an update on the SEC XRP lawsuit here very shortly. So if you want, you can stay tuned for that. This is the Desert Sun, the Desert Sun Crypto. Thank you for tuning in, and see you soon.